Now let me welcome Narsiman sir and CA Narsiman sir and CA Arpit Kabraji on the session. We are very grateful to have you both over here and talking on a topic which is going to be really hot in times to come. In terms when we are talking of future and technology of CAs, what are the key implications of it, and how the entire service industry, CA profession is getting shaped by what are the technology catalysts of changes that are happening around us. Before we proceed, allow me to introduce the speakers for the forum. CA Arpit Kabraji is a regional council member and a secretary of WIRC for the year FY 21-22. He is FCA and CS. He completed his CA and CS in 2009. He is national head of forensics and stress advisory services at JC Kabra and Associates. He has been a mentor to 4 startups in India and has raised several multiple rounds of investment. He has worked on various high-profile cases of banks, CBIs, and EOW. Currently, he is working with 2 state governments and in assisting various financial fraud involving big names and of national interest. Prior to this, he has been associated with ENY, Deloitte, Haribhakti and Company. He is a trainer and coach for art of presentation, public speaking, leadership, and management. Arpit Bhai is also speaker at various forums of technical and motivational sessions and a visiting faculty at SP Jain Institute of Management Studies and Research. RPG has conducted over 80,000 man-hours of trainings for young CAs and CA students on topics including technology, soft skills, forensics, and opportunities for CA. He has conducted 300 sessions for management training of students and professionals and 100 coaching and career counseling sessions for colleges. He also conducts training on forensics and investigations across the country during lockdown. Driving, dancing, and practicing meditation are his passion. He is a keen art of living follower and committed to spreading the power of meditation to youth of the nation. Also, he likes exploring technology and new development in robotics, AI, and cryptocurrency. Along with all this, he really likes to encourage young professionals in soft skill developments and young CAs to pursue entrepreneurship. As far as the activities are concerned, he has conceptualized trainings during his trainings for college commerce students in CAs during their education. He has also encouraged CAs to invest in skill sets, deliverables, and social growth. He has worked towards empowering women CAs to gear up training and development managers in CA firms and facilitating quick and real-time resolution of issues faced by students and members. He has also worked on evaluating the third option by chartered accountants and developing new speakers on various technical topics. Currently, he is a secretary at WIRC and chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board. He is also chairman of Career Counseling Committee, vice chairman of various executive committees, editorial committee, and MCS coordination committee. So that was a brief introduction of Arpit Kabraji. Now let me introduce to the forum CA Narsiman Elingovan. He is BCom, FCA, CS, DISA, DIP, IFR, UK, and CISS USA, along with LLB. CA Narsimanji is a futuristic CA, a GRC professional, and a keynote speaker. He is also a partner at Ken and Company Chartered Accountants based out of Bangalore, India. He is an international speaker on IS assurance, data analytics, cybersecurity, forensics accounting, data privacy laws, and emerging technologies. He specializes in office automation, digitization, and automation solutions in addition to areas such as data analytics, risk-based audit, privacy impact assessments, internal audits, information technology consulting, information systems assurance, data analytics, implementation and testing of internal financial controls, SOX and SOC controls, SSAE 16 and 18 audits, advisory in emerging areas of technology such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, cybersecurity, data analytics, and big data. He is faculty for DISA, CISA, and courses on blockchain technology. He has recently, in fact, authored a book titled Digitizing CA Practice and a co-author of Implementation Guide of DCMM 2.0. He has spoken on various international conferences in Dubai, Malaysia, Bangkok, Geneva, Doha, Nairobi, and Bahrain. So with that, let me also request Narsimanji to join the panel. And as mentioned earlier, the topic of today's discussion is going to be future and technology for CAs, and what are the key implications of same. So with that,
can you hear me?
Yes, Narasimhan-ji.
Can you just make me the co-host? I think I can switch on the other thing.
Yeah,
there's a small network glitch, so I had to step out and come back.
Okay, I'll do that right away. Yeah, can you confirm if you have the privileges?
Please.
If you want to, yes, great.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So with that, let me initiate today's discussion. So as mentioned, the next 35, 40, 45 minutes will be discussing on future and technology transformational changes that are going to impact CA profession. Okay, and we will also ensure to have some time at the end for Q&A and the curiosity that is going to be built around how different digital streams are shaping the profession. But before we move on, let us take a step back and try to understand from CA Arpit on Arpit bhai, there is a general perception that it is very easy to realize the role a technology plays in products industry because it is tangible and you can feel it. But how do you see technology playing a key role of transformation in professional services and consulting industry?
Thank you, Janak, for a warm introduction, and congratulations everyone as we celebrate the 73rd CA Foundation Day. So happy CA Day to each one of you, all the members, and especially Tally, because I think Tally is someone which is very synonymous to chartered accountants. So thank you for creating this platform and inviting me today on this session. Now, coming to your question, Janak, let me start off and say, imagine a situation wherein you have been given a stock audit, and what you have to do is instead of going to the site and looking at his register and everything, what you do is you pick up his last 5 or 6 years balance sheets, P&L, and what you do is you put it in a pre-filled software. You put it in a you put it in a macro, you put it in a Power BI, you put it any tool that you want to use, but you put it and you do an analysis. You do an analysis, and therefore you come to a point that says, assuming everything was perfect, assuming every year that you've done this except the last year, which could be a exception, you would come to a number which could say that this is what should be your stock audit. This is what your number should be of your stock, be it purchase, be it raw material, be it closing stock, be it even WIP, based on 3-4 other parameters, and which is very easy for a chartered accountant to do. Now, you can be plus minus 5-10% over and above on this, but nothing beyond. And now, when you, with this database, when you now go and check what exactly is happening in this guy's backyard, I think you would know what exactly is happening. So anything, everything, data will tell us a lot. Technology will enable us to present things in a very, very transparent manner, something that is free of manipulation. Of course, there are assumptions. Of course, there are all of things, and all of that can be. That is what a chartered accountant would do. Moving on, I'll give you another example. I think technology needs to be calibrated appropriately. It stands to benefit from the paradigm shift that we are seeing so far. It will lead to more productivity and efficiency increase when adopted. Quickly giving you one more example, look at the data warehousing function, and believe me, whatever I'm telling you is what a chartered accountant today is doing. Today, for a state government, one of the chartered accountants that I know, he's just doing one thing, using bots to analyze what is the leakage when food grains or when stock, which is perishable, moves from one warehouse to other, or moves from the origin to different locations, different warehouses. Believe me, the numbers have been staggering. The numbers are befolding in terms of when you hear the amount of loss that we incur due to lack of facilities. It is massive. And believe me, a small bot, every now and then, whenever a transport or whenever a shift is done from one truck to another, whenever that unloading is done, that bot counts everything. It's just one small little handheld device with a bot, and it does the every part of it. And all we have to do is get the data out of this, do an analysis, and tell them what is fit for consumption, what is not fit for consumption. And believe me, you are making an impact in the lives of so many people. So I think technology, if to answer your question, it's gonna just revolutionize the way we are and the way we can work. And chartered accountants, believe me, today are on that cusp of that event happening for all of us.
Very powerful example, Arpit, by very powerful. So building on the so wonderful examples that you have shared, let us now move closer to the audience. Narasimhan ji, so how do you see technology impacting CA profession, and what is the future of CA profession when you couple it with technology? What are your thoughts on same?
Wonderful question. Before I answer that, thank you all of you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Tally. And as is rightly said, Tally has become the synonymous for accounting itself, I would say, considering, the way in which most of us tend to use it and day in and day out. So it's a very apt situation that we are discussing. We need to look forward. We need to look what is the roadmap ahead. I cannot say that, just an accounting software will solve your problem. Or it is not just that step one you take up and then your problem is solved. It is a journey. And that's exactly where digitization actually begins. The digitization, the journey of technology, my dear friends, is something which is mammoth. Just last 1.5 years, the amount of technology which we have adopted is very, very significant. Be it from the very, very basic, a work from home solution to doing a remote audit, correct? And we have done all of this. I am not saying that 100% examples are possible, or everything can get digitized, but this is the roadmap which is light ahead. Point number one. Point number two, when you look specifically from a technology point of view, the future of profession, Arpit also made a mention that, we're talking about bots being used in the profession. So with more and more innovation taking place, new business models will come into picture. Nobody thought I had to audit a company which does not own any asset, but rents or, connects all their taxis. You're talking about Uber and Ola. Nobody thought I will connect all the hotels, correct, without owning a single hotel. Business like OYO rooms. We are talking about service organizations coming into the e-commerce space. And this is only going to increase. So the way I look into it is the involvement of technology is going to increase, coupled with people skills and process skills. So these are very important. That is where the technology involvement comes in. Answering what the future holds for us, yes, we need to be techno-savvy chartered accountants. You may be a specialist in income tax. You may be a specialist in GST. You may be a specialist in statutory audit, but you need to be a specialist, or at least a little above generalist when it comes to technology. Understand the risk, whether it may be a bot, whether it may be artificial intelligence, whether it could be a very powerful Excel macro. At the end of the day, understand the risk. And as an auditor, gear up for that. That is how I would probably look into it. And of course, the way in which we service all those models will change.
Yes. Great thoughts, Narasimhan, especially the generalist, but really loved the example. But now, since we have established this fact that, yes, agreed, technology is going to shape the future and we must really adopt it. But let's address one larger issue that somewhere deep down the line bothers, or there are questions around it that will always come. Arpit bhai, my question is to you. How easy or how smooth do you see will be the marriage or the integration of financial and technology? Are there any roadblocks? And if there are, what are the roadblocks you see when we look to integrate this in our lives seamlessly?
Right, Janak, I think this is one of those questions that can really make or break. But believe me, when you talk about the marriage of finance and technology, I think it is anyways there. But let me give you a scenario, the examples that I've given you, and let me tell you that the way we are working. In fact, you see, one of the biggest logistic company today is spearheading innovations in technology. That is Amazon. Whereas the tech companies that we talk about, Alphabet and Microsoft and all of this, they are pretty much doing the same things again and again, and nothing remarkable. But you see some stores of Amazon, you don't have to even take out cash. You don't have to, just pick up the product, move out, and everything, billing and everything is done, sorted. You see the toll, see the FASTag abilities that we are producing, and so everything. Believe me, the compliance practice, the chart accountant practice that largely people are involved in, and these are all statutory statutory requirements that are there. These would be definitely be taken care by technology. very soon, and it is happening already. There are off the shelf, just like we have Microsoft as a software, just as we have Tally as a software, off the shelf which is available. We'll have off the shelf solutions for any of these things, all of this. So I would say the marriage of technology and finance would be there, but believe me, our role as a chartered accountant, as an individual, what I believe, what I truly believe is today, even if I have to go out and I have to meet, we have to look for opportunities, I have to meet bankers, I have to liaise with public bodies, I have to liaise with stakeholders, I have to go out and interact with them, I have to go and present to them, so not everything can be through technology. Not every aspect is what like for example, the bots example that I give for the warehousing thing, after you get the results, after you do the reports, you need someone to really execute it on the ground. There I don't see technology playing, I don't see that integration really kicking in, or I don't see we being replaced by technology there. For example, let me tell you a biggest opportunity that has hit us. We've been doing statutory audits, and after the end of a year we do these audits. We give a result maybe by September, that is after 6 months, the end of the year, and we are all talking about post-mortem stuff. Today we are looking at a scenario. There are agency for specialized monitoring. These people are monitoring and they are not giving us any feedback on true and fair view. They are not taking assumptions of test check, materiality, and all of these small little aspects, the accounting standards that are built up of, and they are absolutely targeting cash flows. Each and every cash flow that is happening, and believe me, this is not a postmortem, this is happening real time exercise. And believe me, how real time? Every month on month, every quarter on quarter, you're analyzing a bank statement, you're analyzing every cash flow that the company is doing, and you're presenting it. Now, these are already tested, and some of the people who are making this happen is no one else but chartered accountants. Now, this, of course, technology is required, but believe me, there's a huge skills, huge manpower that would be required. And to get these opportunities, you have to go out, you have to reach out to people, show them your abilities, show them your capabilities. I see, third wave is about to hit us. We're hearing about this. Again, we'll be pressed back into lockdown. Again, all of this. But believe me, nothing can replace sitting at home and getting work. Nothing can replace going out, venturing on the road, really going and reaching out to stakeholders, reaching out to those people, really networking. I think that is the key. And that is where I don't see the marriage of technology effectively, because something that is very inherent, something that is very intrinsic to a chartered accountant as a career is networking, is a entrepreneurship that we always talk about. And that is what I believe the marriage would be more like a bits and pieces thing. It is for us as a chartered accountant to exploit it very, very carefully. But believe me, I don't see manpower being replaced, especially intelligent, skilled manpower being replaced very effectively.
Got it. Great thoughts and great insights, RPG, on that. So talking about various specializations and manpower, you thought that cannot be replaced. Building onto that, let's get into slightly more detailing with Narasimhanji over here. So Narasimhanji, my question to you over here is, so accountants play a very pivotal role, okay, in working in the finance industry, okay. So but while we are talking about technology, what do you see? What is the role of future of an accountant? How do you see that shaping up? Can you share?
See, the accountant's role is always an evolving one. We had the service tax practice and we had the so-called excise law. So many of them were not very keen on excise, but the moment service tax came in, some CS said, okay, let's look into it. And then the service tax became a GST. There were a lot more players who wanted to go into it and get into the depth of it. Correct. And now tomorrow, if a new regulation comes in, new opportunity comes in, we have to be onto our toes. It could be a RERA, it could be for agency for special monitoring, or for that matter, it could be engagements or forensic. I think the role has to constantly evolve. But what we should keep in mind is we should go beyond compliance. This is one very important thing which we have to realize, because today compliance is one part of it. It is not the only part. And if we are running between deadlines, just filing this returns, filing that, I understand we have challenges. I'm not saying that, there is nothing challenge free. But I think the mindset, you have to get that self free. let's say you have about 4 to 5 member CA firm, a partnership firm, or even a 2 to 3 member, come together and see if you can have specializations. And that is where one fellow will take care of this set of a domain. You have another set of player who takes care of a different set of a bucket. So therefore, what happens is you have a in-house expertise in various domains. Why don't you explore newer opportunities just with your Tally set of a data? A simple example, I am doing accounting for my client in Tally. Can I simply make a dashboard or an MIS out of it, export it to Excel, do some bit of formatting, put in a graph, and make it a little interactive? And don't think that, okay, the moment I do this, I will get a client and I will start additional fees. No, start certain things as freebies. And over a point of time, client will get used to it and say that, sir, this is the time we are involving. So therefore, you will have to look in from that angle. Another example could be, can I do automation of data entry into Tally? Can I do some bit of automation in terms of the process which we are going to look into? Correct. So that is where I can bring in more amount of value addition for my clients. So the role, if I have to say from a future of accountant, would be purely from being a value addition to the business. Think that you are the CFO of your client. Correct. You will be able to drive the business. And that is where our role is. Bring out these schemes, say that this is what is the benefit. Correct. If you are an MSME, go ahead and say that these are the MSME schemes. Why don't you make use of it? Correct. So that way you would get much more visibility and much more use.
Very well said. Very well said, Narasimhan ji. In fact, I really liked the bit which you explained about certain value-added services which one has to inculcate in his professional journey. But now the real tricky part lies. Okay, Arpit ji, now let me, the googly which Narasimhan ji has just pinned. Okay, very interesting thoughts. It is easier to say that we all have to inculcate value-added behavior and we have to inculcate skills as we go along in the professional journey. But Arpit ji, real question lies, how do we get these skills? Are there any formalized trainings? Are there any options available to us? Because the options are so confusing, sometimes it can get overwhelming. So what is your mantra on getting your hands on as you work in your professional journey with these skills?
That's interesting. That's interesting. That would mean me talking about some programs. Okay, cool. Let me handle it this way. See, chartered accountants, we've been studying. Our syllabus has been robust. We've been studying everything, all the theories and all the way we are disciplined in terms of finishing such a vast syllabus in a very short time, and then giving those results, going exams, and making sure we clear and become chartered accountant. But believe me, one thing that I have seen from my experience, and one thing that I've learned from our experience, from various other people experience, since I'm a secretary, so I do deal in with past chairmen here, past presidents here, someone like likes of Bansi Bhai Mehta, and really stalwarts here. One thing that I've understood, one thing that I've learned is a chartered accountant will learn only when an opportunity comes in. It's very difficult for us to really sit and start. So for example, if I cannot ask a chartered accountant to sit back and start coding or start learning coding, I mean, whatever I tell him that Amazon ये कर रहा है, Microsoft ये कर रहा है, Alphabet ये कर रहा है, सब कुछ कर रहा है, एक काम कर, तू भी coding शुरू कर दे, चल चालू कर दे और देख कुछ हो जाएगा. So that is what not works for us. We've got a responsibility. We've got a lot of we've got a lot of sense of understanding in terms of we have to do. And what Narasimhan ji mentioned, MIS, dashboards. I think one step that we need to take, all chartered accountants need to take, is that one step of trying to do something better what he's doing so far. Usually what happens is, and I'll tell you, it's more like the chick and the egg story, which comes first. But believe me, we largely, what has happened is we are so occupied with deadlines, as he mentioned. We are so occupied with small little compliances, probably we don't even know what is our hourly remuneration. We don't realize due to the work that we are doing, the fees that we are generating, is it remunerative or not. In fact, believe me, one MIS should be made for our own self. There should be a person, please hire a person Please hire a software, please hire a technology that will give you an insight of what you are doing in your entire day. Make a timeline, make a timesheet, make whatever XYZ. But believe me, it is for us to understand. And we are chartered accountants, we believe in numbers. When numbers come in front of us, believe me, it will be shocking to us. Now, when you start doing that, you will realize one of the most important things is you realize you will have to, instead of doing that, free yourself. आप थोड़ा free हो जाओ, take some time out, and probably think of maybe top 2, top 4, top 5 of your clients and start working on it. Usually, Janak, I do a lot of forensic. I come with a forensic background. People ask me, sir, जहाँ भी हम forensic के लिए जाते हैं, they ask us experience, and whenever we go for an assignment, they say experience. If we don't get the assignment, how will we get experience? So again, that story, what comes first? Believe me, to answer all of them, I have only one thing. You have engagements running for you. It is any kind of engagement. It could be a internal audit, it could be a concurrent audit, it could be a stat audit, it could be anything. You have the database, you have the data, the lifeline of that corporation or the entity with you. Why can't you do what a forensic guy does? Just go a step ahead, deep dive, maybe the audit trail exercise, maybe whatever, sit there, maybe give a good time, 4 or 5 months, just like the the McKinseys of the world, the BCGs of the world do. Sit there, understand, and try and analyze the data, try and analyze some observations, try and analyze what is an exception that is happening in this entire entity. Believe me, that is what will give you the first break of forensic. Now, all it does is it catches up on you. Now, it is just like, how do you catch up a passion called maybe guitar strumming or maybe photography? One thing, one solution that you create, one MIS that you create, one technology that you apply. For example, use Power BI. Bank audits can be revolutionized. These branch audits that we do can be revolutionized if we start using Power BI, the Power Query function of Excel, in an effective manner. Believe me, our work of 15 days can be reduced to just 2 days. Believe me, just 2 days. We can do that with use of Power BI. Of course, we need to be disciplined in terms of keeping these resources ready. We have to be disciplined in terms of keeping our questionnaire ready as to what are we really looking for. And believe me, with our experience, we know all of this. It's just that the amount of discipline that we have to bring in the database, to bring in these information intact, and then one single, Power BI is like macros on steroids. So people who know macros, the wonderful job that they can do, it is just like putting them on steroids. It's Power BI, and everything is evidence, everything is calculated, everything that we require for audit trail is captured when you do a Power BI, right? So I'm telling you, if I were to tell you that ये सब है कर लो, नहीं होगा. आपको एक case study लेनी पड़ेगी. And when I talk about case study, let me give you an example of, let me run this through, if I have time, Janak, if I can just create this short example of whenever we talk about chartered accountants, MBAs and everything. Now look at the scenario of what is happening. And it is like, this is what is happening to us, chartered accountants overall. What does an MBA do exclusively? A BCom, yeah, BTech, BE, whatever, some of the other graduation that he does. And what he does is, he enrolls himself, he pays a good fees, very good fees, almost 18-20 lakh fees, and then registers himself in a university, in a college. Okay, that is the management institute or whatever XYZ, it's a college. Now he has paid something, right? One. What he does there, he sits amongst 200-300 people, yeah, and daily he's talking about some case studies, daily he's talking about some research, and daily he's meeting at least 5 to 10 new people. Now look at our network, look at chartered accountants, and look at, and see, after doing all of this, so after paying huge amount, after doing these 3 very important exercises, they get a brand, they qualify, they graduate from that college, they get a brand, they become alumni, and then they carry the goodwill of this institute. Come to ICI, come to chartered accountancy, come to WIRC, come to anywhere. You've got a strong network of 335,000 chartered accountants throughout the country. You step out of your home, you reach anywhere, any unknown place, you'll find a chartered accountant there. Yeah, and a chartered accountant will always welcome you. That is the brotherhood that we have always. Respect for each and every chartered accountant. Of course, the rest of the things are different, but believe me, that's a huge network. Believe me, how many of us are into case studies? How many of us do this research? How many of us do this networking? we don't have to pay from our pockets, and therefore we are shying away from doing these activities. If you were to start asking these people to pay and we'll give you these three things, believe me, every one of us will be wonderful in technology. You know, that is what WIRC does. So I'm talking clearly on this example. So the moment this lockdown kicked in, virtual webinars kicked in, people were doing these free, but we never kept it for free. We've kept it at a very good pricing because we have overheads to, you know, take care of. We have so many things. There's a huge setup, you know, the ICI is a huge setup, and we have everything to do. But keeping all of that aside, what we need to do is get these people to understand, look, research, case studies, networking, talk we are all same wavelength people, we are all same mindset people. We have to talk something valuable. ऐसे नहीं होगा नरसिम्हन जी क्या हाल है, जनक भाई कैसे हो, क्या सब आनंद मंगल, ये हो रहा है वो हो रहा है. No, talk about Narasimhan ji has spoken to me about an MIS. Narasimhan ji, can you please share a dashboard, say for a pharma industry, or maybe because I'm doing this work, if you can give me some insights on what you do or how do you do it. I think that is one step that we need to take. That is what is required for us to adopt technology. I can do a lot of programs, I can do focus programs, I can do everything, but what will happen is one fellow will come in and tell you, अरे यार इसने तो ये नहीं किया यार, इसमें तो ये कर दिया इसने यार. And see, you know, 3 Idiots में वो चतुर था. I am giving that example. To ace in an exam, it is not that only you have to study the best. It is you have to ensure that others don't study. That is what his ideology was, and believe me, there are many who come with this ideology कि यार ये अगर मेरे को आता है, so it is only that I should know it. Probably the other should. So you know, there's this entire sense of disbelief, entire sense of you know, कुछ सीखने भी जा रहा होता है, करने भी जा रहा था, उसको पहले अगर किसी ने आके ग्रुप में बोल दिया, अरे यार बहुत ज्यादा कोडिंग हो गया है, ये इतना सब कैसे समझना है, क्या चले. अरे बॉस, you have a case study, you take your own, look into your own exercise, look at, you have so many of GST RICO for big entities are being done by bots. No chartered accountant is sitting to his bank RICO, GST RICOs these days. You know, they are, in fact, there are wonderful solutions and they're available off the shelf, as I told earlier. So take one, buy one. Yeah, buy one and start using it, start plugging in. See, Zoom आज buy किया ना, पहले कभी किसी ने buy नहीं किया. You know, कभी Teams नहीं देखा हमने, Google Meet free available है, but कभी use नहीं किया हमने. Yeah, so that is one step that we have to take. ये Corona, believe me, the power of intangible, Janak, I think, you know, this is where we have to clearly validate and say that, you know, the power of intangible, something that is not visible, something that is there's a question, there's an argument across the globe whether it is a living or a non-living. A virus is not declared as a living or non-living. It activates only when it is attached to a cell. I'm a science student, so therefore I know all of this. So I'm saying there's this entire concept of whether this is a existing item or not, and that coronavirus has ensured we are pushed 10 years ahead of our times. And, you know, we have adopted some things that we never thought we'll do. That is one push, that is one intangible that we all have, that is our knowledge. Believe me, let's believe in this power of knowledge. You have your own case study, look into your backyard. Don't get inspired or encouraged by what others are doing. Do if you can understand, if you can take it positively, but don't set yourself down. Believe me, every one of us has so much in our plate. We can start revolutionizing the way we work. These technologies are available. There are n number of programs available. All you need to do is be focused, find out the ways, you know, where you can pick and choose these correct programs. For example, at WIRC, what we're doing is we have launched a 60-hour focused data analytics program. Believe me, everything was going great, everything happening superbly, and people are really wonders. And when we talk about 60 hours, you know, the engagement is roughly around 4 hours more, so 240 hours, 300 hours, you know, whatever actually. And you know, when I see some programs of Tally, you know, I see the engagement is so strong, so many powerful things that we can do in Tally, but unfortunately we restrict it to whatever that we want to do, or we want our convenience. Believe me, one more step, start looking at a solution, start looking at integration, start looking at something that you can do over and above extra, and believe me, that is where our learning will kick in. I think I've overshot my time, but I'm very passionate about these topics, and you know, we really should ensure that one step is what you have to take and push that one person. Every chartered accountant should stand for the other one to push him up to adopt technology.
In fact,
Technology.
Yes, there were so many points. Like I wanted to, I was relating with so many examples, especially the example which you gave of Power Query. So I'll tell you, Arpit bhai, I have been privileged and lucky myself to be in a session where a live case was demonstrated of Power BI.
Oh,
Believe me, one of the speakers, so basically again a Tally evangelist, but he has shown that hours and hours of work was done within 5 minutes. He demonstrated live.
absolutely.
Actually, and with peer learning example which you gave, na Arpit bhai, you have literally hit the nail on the head. That and this is one learning which all the professionals can take. Not only CAs, but these are borrowing from the wider universe. That peer learning and case studies go a long way. वो starting में बोलते हैं ना कि on the job सीखो.
Yes.
This is so well articulated. And I think we have Narsiman ji with us. Narsiman ji, just hold on. I'll make you.
The technology is playing a role on Narsiman. I think I'm winning here.
Yes. Narsiman ji, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I'm sorry.
Yes, we
I
can
think
see you.
there was a power issue here.
Shadow.
Yeah.
That's
So,
technology in which case.
yes. So Arpit ji has spoken so well about coding and all. Really loved the powerful examples. Okay. Now let us get into slightly more specific. So you can see नरसिम्हन जी के लिए मैंने थोड़े specific questions रखे. अर्पित जी के लिए थोड़ी googlies रखी है मैंने. अर्पित जी ने तो 2-3 6 मार दिया आज. But अब नरसिम्हन जी, let me ask you a very specific question here. Okay, while coding and all might look slightly more time taking to get hands on and something that cannot be expected. So as far as technology is concerned, what are the low hanging fruits for CA? What can they immediately start with?
What? Very good. In fact, everybody asks this common question. You know, all these sessions are nice to hear when we speak over a webinar. Uske baad kya karenge? Yes or no? So
Yes.
I'll tell you, this is the approach which I also started following. First, I took my own balance sheet and P&L. Okay, I identified from a client standpoint what are all the services I render and how am I rendering the services. Let's take a typical one of the examples. One of the things which we do is an accounting function. We take the data, it comes in a Excel file or a spreadsheet, whatever it is. We push in this data and we do the accounting. Now, can we see if we can automate this? Correct? The most 70%, 60% of the transactions are same. Every month I'm paying the salary. The salary number is going to change, but every month I'm going to pay the same salary. So can I build in a very basic automation? And for this, you need not sit and break your head. Tools are available. We need to explore that. Okay, A tool, B tool, go figure it out. Okay, this tool can push the data from source to destination without a click of a button. For what I was spending an article staff maybe one full day, he may probably have to spend only 2 or 3 hours for classifying the entries, and he may be able to push it. Now, you might say that, sir, can I automate in every case? No, you have to do a cost benefit analysis. Some clients have only 100 entries for the entire year. No, you'll say that I'll go sit and automate this. You'll spend more time in doing the automation work. Yes. So this balancing is a very, very crucial thing. You need to decide which is that client where you can save, forget about money, save time, because the time is the biggest thing. Once you've got that, can I replicate for the next person? Can I replicate for the third person? And that is how you will start scaling up. Now, I often keep on narrating this example. You know, what is it that the KFC, McDonald's, and Domino's of the world have common? They have 3 things: people, process, technology. Whatever you say, you might be saying, sir, people keep on changing. That is exactly why process and technology is there. That's exactly why process and technology is there. CA firm as article staff may come and go, interns may come and go, employees may come and go. But if you set a process and right from day one that is being followed, it can take you through. I'll give you 3-4 examples. Can we build in a standardized chart of accounts for all our clients? A simple standard. Because if you see from at a high level, what is there in Tally accounting or any for that matter, any accounting? You have purchases, sales, expenses, which are direct and indirect. Beyond that, you may have some incidental items. Now make a list of all of this. Create a simple mapping. Okay, if it goes to Schedule 3, this is where it has to go. If it is a tax audit case, this is where it has to go in my tax audit software. Once the mapping is done, keep that as a base. And disable the access to create accounts for everybody. Whoever happens within this audit have to do it. How do you do it? There are hundreds of videos available. Go ahead and do it. So what we can do immediately, we need to get started.
And I always make a mention of the Stephen Covey's matrix. This is something very, very important. And this is a 4x4 matrix. Okay. One side you have things which you have to do urgently, and one side you have the things which you have to do on an important basis. Those which are urgent and important, you only have to drive it. It could be the strategy of the firm, it could be the vision of the firm, or it could be certain things which you have to accomplish very soon, you have to drive. Those things which are important, sorry, am I audible?
Yes,
Okay,
very much.
yeah. Those things which are important, but they are not urgent. Okay, they are not urgent, but they're important. You have to do it, but not today. Schedule it. Schedule it. Decide when you want to do it. It could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a quarter, but please get it done. Third, something which is very, very urgent. This is where we make a mistake. It's very urgent, but it is not important. Something which is very urgent, but it is not important. Delegate it. Most of us fail to delegate work in today's world. And that is where we got a big problem. There are so many tasks which you can delegate. You always think, oh, what if that fellow makes a mistake? Sir, until you give that a person an opportunity, he will never learn. Be with him. But over a point of time, encourage him or her, and so that they'll be able to do it. And those which are not urgent and those which are not important is completely keep it aside. Depend on when you want to position it and do it. And this 4 matrix, always remember, it works everywhere. I'll give you one example. Now we have attended this session. I realized that I have to do automation. I realized that I have to do MIS and dashboards. Go take it up. Some may be urgent, some may be not urgent, so prioritize it. Then you may have certain things on a futuristic scale. Hey, you know what? I want to see what is this data analytics. Arpit ji made a mention that there is something on data analytics as a workshop which is going on. I want to explore this. Now these are things which you have to schedule and decide when you have to do. And once you get that hands-on knowledge, try it on your data. It could be a simple MIS which I said to get started. Correct? So that is one set of a thought process which you can. After which, what you will do is very important is you take the next step. See whether can I give this to my clients as a freebie service. You're doing all these things, just give that one extra. Sir, I've just done it. I'll give you a simple example. Every time when I did my IT audits, I used to give one big report on gap analysis. I used to give one 20 pages of, compliance, non-compliance, all those things. Then the client, it used to typically go to I used to mark the CEO, CFO, but I used to mark the audit managers, etc. They used to go, CEO, CFO was informed that something like this is there. Now what I started doing, I just did one extra step. I prepared one Excel dashboard. Who is responsible? Who is the department? What is the stakeholder? I just used very basic Excel dashboard slicers and pivot. What I did was, I sent that entire chart, including the red, green, amber, whatever you say. I mentioned that. Sorry. I mentioned all of these points. Onto the body of the email and sent. Now what happened? The CEO, CFO typically sees the mail and he says that is not addressed to him and he delegates that person. But the moment he saw this, he was taken aback. Hey, what is the so many things on red? And obviously when you have too many things on red, it is obviously a cause of concern. Within few minutes, I got a call from the CEO. Within a few minutes, I got a call from the CEO. Correct? The CEO is saying, hey, I hope all of you are good, all those things. And he suddenly is saying that, sir, what is this? Then I went ahead and explained. Then the focus and the lookout is completely different. The way in which the value they started pursuing is different, because an audit manager was in that particular department was not able to visualize beyond what I was making a mention. But the moment I told as a CEO, these are the things, he understood how it can impact his strategy. He understood how it can impact his future practice. I'm just giving one as an example. Now, why don't we draw those matrices? Now, we all know these ratio analysis is a beautiful thing. Correct? There is a default screen itself in Tally which gives you all the ratio analysis. But have we gone ahead? Sorry, am I audible? I'm sorry.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
You're audible.
Yeah. Have we gone ahead and seen how those ratio analysis looks and given a simple suggestion. Okay, sir, from a loan standpoint, from an internal control standpoint, this is exactly how your balance sheet and numbers should look like. So the moment you do that, my dear friends, the client looks at it at a different angle. The moment we step into the shoes of the CEO or the CFO, or we own up that business, the perspective is different. Now, can I do it for all my clients? No, it is not possible. You cannot wear multiple hats at the same point in time, but do it for those clients whom you believe respect on the value addition. And be more important, over a long term, it is mutually rewarding. We can't keep on doing it for free, right? We need to obviously charge the fee for that. But having said that, start with that approach. And that is where, my dear friends, you will actually go up the ladder and start looking into new things.
Great thoughts, Narasimhanji. In fact, this is so mesmerizing, and now I really want this conversation to go, but we have now very limited time at hand. So so let us know what our concluding remarks are. Arpitji, what are your closing thoughts for the forum in that case?
I think
yes,
Komal has given me a signal. Okay, so let me when a woman, see, in the lockdown we have understood the power of a woman. The multitasking, if we have to learn, we have to see from women, and therefore when Komal has signaled me, I know what I have to do. Let me quickly summarize on this, Janak, and believe me, what an amazing conversation that we had. CA is committed. Always look at Narasimhanji. He's demonstrated that right now. वो power गया, हट गया, या mobile पे जैसे भी है. He knows such a important conversation that we're having. But Narasimhanji, thank you. Great commitment, and that is what is CA is all about. Committed always. When I talk about this, my concluding remarks are, one is network excellently, network essentially, inspire, get inspired, get encouraged. Don't get into competition. I'm giving you a small example. ASM की हमने बात की. I'm gonna give you another example of public finance and government accounting. ये बहुत बड़ी opportunity अपने पास आने वाली है. As a chartered accountant, believe me, central government under this fantastic leadership, I don't know XYZ, but I want to talk about some of the very senior bureaucrats whom have been in touch with ICI, and we are doing a lot of sessions. We know this for the fact that every grant that the central government is gonna give to any of these public bodies will all depend upon submission of their budgets, submission of their accounts, and financial records. None of them today in this country are self-sufficient. They need a chartered accountant. They need a chartered accountant very badly. So all of you who know these people, all of you who know anyone in this public bodies, any municipality, any collector office, or any XYZ, it's a very good time. There is a course also that the ICI is doing, public finance and government accounting, MSME, all of this. So these are new concepts, new cultures coming in, and all of this talk about one thing: empowering. Only one thing: empowering. Networking, empowering. You have to do a service across the country. Networking guidelines have been issued by ICI. So dwell into it. See, all of these are happening for a reason. We have to pick up those things and start believing in all of this, rather than doing what we've been doing. So I think unlearning is the key. You have to start unlearning. You have to learn something new, what is happening, read the signs that are happening in the ecosystem, and then relearn those signs, so that the unlearned thing don't create an impact. Because then to remove an auditor from our mind is very difficult, and that is what ASMs want to do. That is what forensics as a new practice opportunity is trying to do. No auditing, purely conclusive, purely investigation, pure reports. These are the things that are framing. These are the things which will set the benchmark as a career for chartered accountants. You have to network, you have to learn, and rightly mentioned, technology ko adopt karna padega. All of that can be done not by competing, not by underquoting, not by undermining our pricing mechanism. Just for the sake of that opportunity, if chartered accountants start undercutting, or if they start adopting these means, believe me, they are not only killing themselves, they are killing the entire fraternity. They are also killing the entire options that are available. Believe me, people are laughing back behind us when someone says that, look at this guy, आप इतना कोट कर रहे हो, but हमारे इधर लाइन लगा के लोग खड़े हैं, बोल रहे हैं कि हम तो इतने में करने को तैयार हैं. Leave it, let it be. You will get an opportunity, but stay true to yourself. These learnings should not come at a cost from your own pockets. Believe me, and it is enough is available. Believe me, we are only 3,35,000, and there is an entire ecosystem which is building in. And all of these are going out. These compliance, forget those. Start looking at some bigger, chunkier, and really mind where skills are getting involved. These kind of opportunities that are available to us. So I think that is my concluding remarks. That please don't believe in undercutting yourself. Start unlearning, start learning, relearning, and more importantly, networking to on this technology, soft skills, entrepreneurship. Build that up. I think we will go a long way in creating an ecosystem for each one of us to flourish very, very, very successfully.
Great thoughts. And Narasimhanji, very quickly, we are already over time. And very quickly, what are your thoughts closing on same?
I think more or less the thoughts align between me and Arpit. I would not like to reiterate it, but I think we have to start small and start somewhere. That is a very, very important thing we have to keep in mind. And the moment we get started, my dear friends, the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. So I think we'll have to get started. It could be small things with tools. It could be with my own automation, etc. Just a couple of guides which can be of help is, one is the DCMM, Digital Capability Maturity Model of our institute, which came up a couple of years back, which says that, which measures or which helps you to assess what exactly is the digital capability at your organization. A. B is also gives you that if you have got a bad score, how is it that you can improvise? So that's a very good guide. And the second is strategic roadmap for being virtual CA firm. There's another guide publication which came up with the institute, which talks about how step by step you can actually use these technology tools or these solutions, or how you can actually go virtual. I think these two guides are very good for you to get started. And our ICA has got a host of tools available where they have MOUs and etc. It's a question of we have to just go ahead and explore it.
Great. These are some amazing, and in fact, it is very sad that we have very limited time, but nonetheless, in those 45-50 minutes that we have had, Arpitji, let me really thank you from the bottom of my heart. Narasimhanji, let me also thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing such invaluable insights and experiences that we face day to day. On behalf of the forum and Team Tally, and on behalf of Narasimhanji and Arpitji, let me thank all the members who are present here. Having said that, post this, we have another panel, in fact. So, Komal, over to you now.
Yeah. So, wow, the discussion was amazing. So, thank you, panelists, for such an interesting approach to the topic. We all have thoroughly enjoyed the discussion.